Ahmed wants to understand what food his customers frequently buy together. And so he collected a bunch of user data. You can think of these as the orders that he captured throughout his work at the restaurant. So, for instance, one person bought a shawarma and fries and soda together. The other person just bought a shawarma and soda together. Third person bought a burger and fries and soda, and so on. Now, Ahmed doesn't actually know how exactly he would be able to do this. And this is where we come in. We will help him do something called market basket analysis. And we will do so using something called an association rule. So let's get started. An association rule in its simplest form is just simply something like this, where you have, for instance, here, let's say, if shawarma, then also a soda is bought. This is an association rule, okay? Or let's say here as another example, if shawarma and fries, then soda is bought, for instance. These are association rules, and this is the end product that we want to do. And the way that we basically do this is through two steps. The first step is frequent item set mining. This is basically where we want to first get a bunch of sets of items, okay? So this could be, let's say here we have a set with something like this, where we have a set of shawarma. I'll just write S for shawarma for now. Then we have soda, and then, actually, let's write for shawarma SH, and then soda, and then we have fries. And then we have another frequent item set, which we found, let's say, is burger, soda, and fries, for instance, okay? So we want to find these frequent item sets. And after we have basically found them, the next step would be to do association ruler, okay? Where we basically then take these and try to create these association rules with them. So we then, for instance, see that if shawarma, then soda and fries, for instance, we want to see if that is something that, people might like, or if, let's say, burger and soda, then fries, and then we basically find which of these rules are really the best. So let's get the data set back in here, and then we can try to actually start this. There we go. And now we have this right here. So as we mentioned before, we will start with the frequent item set mining. I believe the best way to do this is actually through a small diagram of a tree, okay? So what we do is we start with an empty set like this. And then from here, we will try to create a tree with all the different possibilities. So we have, of course, only shawarma. Then we have fries and soda. And lastly, also burger. These are all the four possibilities. And then from these, we try to create now sets of size 2, okay? So we can have here shawarma fries. Then we have here also shawarma soda. And yeah, we do this with all of them. Okay, I'm not going to do it all of them now. I'll just write here ... Okay, there we go. And we can now just simply connect them like this. There we go. Okay, then we also do this with the next level too. So if I go again and I go here and say the next level is shawarma, fries, soda, and the next one is burger, fries, soda, and then lastly, of course, at the very end, we only have the combination of a burger, shawarma, soda, and fries. This is the maximum, right? This is basically all of the, like, if again, we would connect them. There we go, just like this. This is shawarma fries and shawarma, so these are connected. Then we have burger, fries, soda. So we have here fries, soda, and somewhere here would be burger, fries, and then we have here burger, shawarma. So we have this right here, and then shawarma soda. So we have this like here, and so on, right? And this would be then hopefully all of them. But now the thing is, of course, we want to find those that are actually frequent, For instance, if we take here right here this. We have here burger, shawarma, soda, okay? If we look in our set right here, we don't actually find it any. We only have here shawarma, burger, fries, for instance, right? But we don't have burger, shawarma, soda as any, like nobody used this right here, you know? So this actually means for us that this is not frequent in the data set. So we need a way to actually figure out what is frequent and what is not. And the way that we do this is with something called support. Now, the formula for support is like this: support of a set, okay, or of like one of these rules is, let's call it now A to B, is the number of A and B divided by the number of all. Now, what this specifically means is that, let's say, for instance, we have here the combination of shawarma fries, okay? If we have the combination of shawarma fries, we put them in here, meaning we find here everywhere where shawarma and fries are together, okay? So I see shawarma and fries is here twice, and again here, and again right here. You see? So the number of the times that is in here is 3. And then this is then divided by all of the orders that we have. So we have 6 in total. So it's divided by 6, which is, of course, 0.5. So this would be its support, okay? And the way that we would then do this, basically, is we would go over the entire data set and try to find out what is frequent and what is not frequent with a specific threshold. Let's say the threshold for it to be frequent is 0.25, let's say, okay? And then we would cross out everything that is not frequent. So, for instance, we would get that the shawarma is frequent because it's in a bunch of times. Fries is frequent, soda is frequent, burger is frequent. You know, we saw it above 25% in the data sets, right? Now, the combination of shawarma fries is also frequent, as we saw, but the combination of shawarma soda might also be frequent. Let's see. We have here shawarma soda, which is already 2 out of 6, which means it is frequent. Yes. So we do this right here. And then we also see that shawarma burger is actually not really frequent at all. We only see it a single time right here. But if our threshold, as we said, 25%, meaning it should show up at least in 25% of the samples here. So what we do is we then actually just fully remove this right here. And then the combination of fries soda is also frequent. We see it once here. We see it again. So that's 2 out of 6, which is already 33%, which is more than 25%. So this is also frequent, and so on. And then we go through all of this, and we might have then something like this, where we say, okay, right here, this is how frequent, these are the frequent ones, and these are the non-frequent ones, okay? This is then called the positive border and the negative border, okay? And after that, we basically have then a full set of frequent items. So we then know exactly what combinations are frequent and what are not. So this was the first step of frequent item set mining. The next step now would be to look for association rules. So what we would then do basically is, let's say here we take shawarma soda and we take shawarma fries soda, okay? Now we want to find association rules. The way that we do this is we take our frequent items. Let's say, like we said here, shawarma. Let me just change the color. We have here our rule, our set, a frequent item set of shawarma. I'll just write SH again, and then soda is so, and then fries is FR, for instance, okay? This is one frequent items set, and then the other one, let's say, is shawarma fries. Okay, or let's do burger fries. And now we want to create out of these association rules like we said before. So we have here, then let's say shawarma and soda implies fries, and then, let's say fries implies burger, okay? Meaning, if we get fries, then also the next step might be that we get a burger too. And meaning that if we get shawarma and soda, then we would probably also want fries with that too. What we do now with this is we have to calculate for each one something called confidence. Now, with confidence, this is also another calculation, okay? So the way that you would calculate confidence from A to B is you would basically take the number of A and B divided by the number of just A, okay? So this would basically, we want to see with this how good A is a predictor for B. And this would be how we would calculate it. So let's start with fries and burger. I think that might be a bit easier. So if we start with fries and burger, we see here, if I change the color here, that we have fries 1, 2, 3, 4 times, okay? So the number of fries would be 4. And now we want to see how often we get the number of fries and burger together. So we have here burger soda, that's not one of them. Burger fries, that's one of them. Then burger fries, here's another. And yeah, that's basically in our data set. So we have 2. Meaning it is a predictor of 50%. Okay? That is not that good, that basically means it's random, it means that sometimes people get fries with burgers or sometimes they don't. This means that this is a bad association rule. And we would basically also have to set a threshold where we want to stop or basically prune these rules too, So let's say we want a accuracy of, let's say 70%. I mean, the higher the better, right? We want like really good rules, but let's just say 70%. So this rule would actually not be able to make it. Now, as the last example, let's also try the shawarma and the soda implies fries. So our A here is shawarma and soda. So let's just see here. We have shawarma 1 is shawarma soda is here once. Shawarma soda is here twice. And do we have it somewhere else? Nope. So we have an A of 2. And now we have to see how many times A and B are. So shawarma soda and fries. So shawarma soda and fries is here only a single time. So it's 1 out of 2, which is again 50%, and therefore not a good predictor, since it's basically random again. Maybe I could have selected a bit of a better example. That is it for market basket analysis and I guess the theory behind it, and also association rule learning. I hope you learned something. The content of this I got from a course from Johannes Fürnkrantz of the JKU on computational data analytics. And I thank you very much for listening.